here in this vicinity. Let's talk about the bill, the outrageous, unscrupulous, draconian bill that has been withdrawn by the Senate.
Yes.
Looking at the intentions of these leaders,
Yes.
what do you think should be on the minds of Nigerians now?
The question should be that, are we practicing kakistocracy? Kakistocracy. That is the worst of the worst being in power.
The worst of the worst.
Yes. Because you look at number one, House of Rep Speaker, you are bringing a bill that is even more harsher than Decree 4 of the military. But when I look at the bill, I'm asking myself, are we still in democracy or in the military? That number one, that people cannot agitate peacefully. That means you want to call, for example, Biafra agitation, Odudu agitation, and even middle belt and everybody agitation. That's number one. Number two, nobody can criticize the president. That means the president says, I'm going for the next 40 years. Everybody will keep quiet. Number three, he said that nobody can criticize pastors, imams. And we see, for example, pastors are now selling, they are selling water. All those disgracing the name of Christ. You understand? You are seeing what imam, for example, yesterday in Ibadan, we saw how an Afa allegedly beheaded a 14-year-old boy for ritual in Ibadan yesterday. So that means you cannot even say it. It doesn't happen. You are supposed to be that, you said that national rulers, that the elders of the community, you cannot criticize them. That means if a bad for example, or any national ruler in any place, say, I want to seize your house, I want to seize your land, you cannot say anything in 2024. When I look at the bill, I said, what is this? But I thank God that Nigeria, for example, that's why you see social media. When we look at the negative, there are many positives to it. If not for social media in Nigeria today, only God knows where we would have been. But if you do social media that rose up, I look at the Labour Party representative and the senators, I look at the PDP senators, I'm disappointed. In Nigeria, opposition is dead. You understand? The opposition now are the individual citizens that are now speaking up by themselves. What that bill is an insult to all Nigerians. And I said, okay, let us even see a bill. Instead of it to pass a bill that will improve the life of Nigerians, number one. Number two, the bill I want to see is that any corrupt leader in Nigeria that steals money should be hanged. Let them pass that bill as of web. That any corrupt governor, any corrupt president, any corrupt senators that is caught to have stolen money, they should behead the person. Nigerians are going to clap. But a governor, 80 billion till today, they cannot arrest him. But a so-called Yahoo boy that's kind of on a laptop, you arrest him. You understand? If somebody sees 5,000 naira, only, they arrest him. But 80 billion, a governor is working free. You understand? Okay. We heard that senator said they are receiving 1 million naira, from 600,000 naira in a month. And that senator came out to say, his name is Mr. Sumaila, from the north, said, I receive 21 million naira every month. In the midst of poverty and hardship, you are not passing a bill to make sure that Nigerians are enjoying or your salary goes down. You are now passing that draconian bill in 2024. So I'm very, very happy that this bill will not see light of the day, and Nigeria should be now all Nigerians we should be watching our backs. They may introduce another bill again.
Introduce another bill.
Ah, God Almighty. So that is the plan. We don't know the plan of these people. Nowadays, see, our leaders nowadays, they don't even care. You can look at the protests, end bad governance, everybody's hunger. Have they said anything about the hunger? Instead, look at the contract they are awarding to themselves. Look at the amount they are receiving every month. You understand? So if Nigerians are not worth food, they are going to pass another bill again. That may be worse than this. Because you can imagine that if that bill has been passed, as I'm talking now, police can come and arrest me and arrest anybody. Now we cannot even say anything. Nigeria has become zombie if that bill has been passed. But no matter what the government does, you just have to look. You understand? I would say even under the military in Nigeria, people protested. You understand? But in democracy, you want to pass a bill that people cannot protest. Let's say last time the truth, Mr. Christian. Let us look at ourselves on the eyes for once and say, red is red, blue is blue, black is black. And that's like I always tell you. You see, when people fight for tribalism and religion, I just laugh. In the House of Rep now, that they mention the bill, they are Muslims, they are Christians here. They are Yoruba, they are Igbo, they are Hausa, they are everybody. Everybody keep quiet. What does that tell you? That in Nigeria, our reps, our senators, our governors, they don't even care about us. They want to be in power just to stay there and find a way to accumulate money and share the commonwealth of an average Nigerian. Everybody is kept quiet because for that bit of even pass the first reading in the House of Rep, what does that tell you?
That the senators have had consent. They consented to the bill.
Yes, now,
Labour Party
but
representatives.
Labour Party was there, PDP is there, and some small opposition party that are there. Yorubas are there, Igbos are there, Fulani is there, Idoma, Igala, Igede. Different languages, Ebira, Nupe, Isekiri, Ijo, Urobo. Different people are there. Kanu different. Yeah, they said that I said nothing because that bill is going to favor them. I've always tell you that Nigerians now is not about another tribe or religion again. Nigeria is divided between the rich and the poor. Until the poor people leave tribe and religion alone and fight with one language against these people, they don't care about you. They, if they are sharing cars, everybody will collect. If they are sharing money, they will collect. Anytime they are fighting in the House of Rep, they are fighting because of money, not because of me and you. Yeah, because of contract. Understand? But then the average citizens are still fighting for tribe and religion in 2024. Whereas the governors are doing their meeting, senators are doing their meeting, rep are doing their meeting on how to share your commonwealth, on how to share your resources. But you are still being blinded by all this propaganda and everything. Understand? Okay, look at the political party. Oh, Obi. They became senators, rep members with the name of Peter Obi. Look at what they are doing now. You understand? They give you car, you collect. They give you something, you collect. You understand? That means they have only gone there to represent themselves. I know, it's not about being majority, it's about being somebody have that mind to speak out. You saw, for example, Abdul Ningi of PDP. He's a northerner. He first spoke out about the padding of the budget. What does that tell you? And that northerner came out again. Undume. He said that Bola Ahmed Tinubu have been caged. That Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot even see what's happening to Nigerians. Even though they're supporting him now, it's like he's coming back. And that northerner come out again and said, it's a lie, yo. I collect 21 million naira. You understand? Only the northerners are not coming out. Why? I don't know. Because they didn't even come out under Buhari. You understand?
Can we say this bill is influenced by the president?
It might be. Because I see, let me tell you, that for the person that sponsored the bill is not another person. That man is the fourth citizen of Nigeria. Fourth. President number 1. Vice number 2. Senate president number 3. Then speaker is number 4. That's the number 4 citizens. The speaker of House of Rep, Mr. Tajudeen Abbas, was one that sponsored the bill. For him to have sponsored that bill, he would have at least been contact, for example, he would have been with the Senate president and with the executive. He couldn't have acted alone. You understand? So what this thing is driving us is the fact that these people they are working and finding a way to make sure that Nigerians are silenced. That no matter how poor you are, no matter how you are, just keep quiet. Because even I said the bill also talk about you cannot even criticize a pastor, an imam. And I gave an example of how one pastor is it in Delta State. I was selling this is it something miracle water, selling something. You understand? Is that the work of Christ? Of far and afar. I'm talking about yesterday in Oyo State. If you can see it on the internet, allegedly beheaded a 14-year-old boy for ritual. And yes, and you cannot say it out. You cannot even say it. Because if the bill has been passed, you cannot say it. That means anything can happen. That means a Tanzania owner can just look at you and say, I'm collecting your house. You cannot say anything. You understand? So that bill is draconian. It is even worse than I support you have support the Maisha is but it is the rest. I don't sing national anthem. How many people can sing national anthem, the new one? How many senators can sing it fluently? What does that tell you? But if you don't sing it, I go to prison. Instead of, if you are corrupt in Nigeria, go to prison. If you have stolen people's commonwealth, go to prison. You understand? Instead of, if you're a leader and you cannot build good hospital in your state, don't go to hospital abroad. Instead of, if you're a leader, don't send your children abroad. Your children must go to Nigerian school. No. Everything must be targeted at the poor people in Nigeria. Just to keep Nigerian people more poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer. This is deliberate. The poverty that we have in Nigeria, I don't say, it's artificial. Artificial poverty. God did not design Nigeria to be poor. The amount of oil that we have in Nigeria. Oh, look at the poverty. Now, listen to me. Nigeria Delta, they have the oil. The oil was used to be in Abuja. Look at Abuja, look at Nigeria Delta. Compare the two cities together. In Nigeria Delta, they have the oil. People that have most oil blocks, they are from the north. Even owners of the oil don't have oil block.
Yes.
You understand? They're not passing bill to make people that have the oil that you are enjoying to enjoy. You are passing bill to keep you in power. You understand? So this is it's not rocket science. It's not something that we can be wishing for or be praying for. These things are deliberate.
We now know our enemies. We now know our enemies.
We have known our enemies for a long time, but psychopathy will not allow us to tell ourselves the truth. We know our enemies. See, if election come today, people are still going to vote for the wrong people because of 5,000, because of Indomie, because of Maggi, because of spaghetti. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Because of spaghetti, because of even okpa that they are eating, because of amala, all those things, people are still going to vote for their own candidates. We know our enemies. Politicians are our enemies. All of us will know it. But you are not our enemies. You have been in government for how many years? Have Nigeria ever enjoyed divisions of democracy before? Tell me.
Looking at the visit, Buhari, Jonathan, and Tinubu, look at that picture. What's your take?
God bless Obasanjo. Obasanjo they don't even attend. Look at Jonathan. People that they all those together against you. People that insulted you. They are still going to get for a visit. They are now passing vote of confidence of president. That's not my concern. It is that, but when you don't look at the picture very well. From bad to worse to worse. Under Jonathan, Nigeria was still fair. Under Buhari, fire. Under Tinubu is like air fire. That's just from bad to worse to worse. Understand? God bless Obasanjo. Say no, I'm not coming. I don't understand. You have been leader for how many years? What is the impact of your life? As somebody that is saying that Buhari is going to advise Tinubu. The Bible says that if the blind lead the blind, both of them will fall into a ditch. How can now what do you want Buhari to tell Tinubu now to do? Think about it. What advice do you think that Buhari is going to give Tinubu? Where Buhari said, where Tinubu said that I will continue where Buhari stopped. You understand? Tinubu said I will continue where Buhari stopped. That means, so which advice do you want Buhari to give Tinubu now? From frying pan to fire.
Okay, thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Christian. I must tell you that it's quite unfortunate that the crop of politicians you have or the ruling class are those that want to subjugate by all means. Because it builds an imagination where you want to suppress people's voices. In democracy, the beauty of democracy is you allow different voice to speak. Because we have said that we are in for a trouble under this administration. Because what we are seeing is purely state capture. A situation where we want to gag not just the president, we want to guard the generality of the people, the youth. I think it is a dangerous trend that must not be allowed. Because I was worried that if this is allowed to continue, we are going to have a society where at the end of the day, nobody can come out to speak. Because if you have a situation where you are making a law, that if you protest and incite, I'm not saying anybody should go and incite
the national anthem.
Yes, what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying anybody should incite violence anyway. They're looking at failing to recite the new national anthem. Don't forget that even the Attorney General of the Federation himself queried the rationale, the modus operandi, the process of coming up with the new national anthem. That the global best practice is by plebiscite, as a way of trying to have buying of generation of the public. But the way it was done is like forcing it on the people without seeking the consent and opinion of the people. And at the same time, you want to now force it on Nigerians to start reciting, going by the way of hence it has been an act of National Assembly. But let me say that democracy, the beauty of democracy is that You need to carry everybody along, and you need to have the even when you have opposition, their voices need to be heard. For me, this government went for a trouble. Don't forget that recently we had a situation where even Mr. President himself made a statement that is made people to start asking, are we actually practicing democracy? I'm talking about the issue involving the election. When the president went to when the president said that, do you want APC back? Sorry, do you want Edo back? He was addressing some party faithful in Edo State, and they said yes. He said, I am going to give it to you. And what was surprising is that Mr. President was speaking his capacity as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because he laid emphasis saying, I am the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will give it to you. At that point, I knew that we are in for trouble. So if you start seeing bills that seek to infringe on rights of people coming from National Assembly, I think they are learning fast. They are perhaps learning from their master, who is the president, who have showed the lead way. Because for a president to have said that he's going to give a state to a particular political party in an election that's supposed to be contested on the basis of the maker's strength, on the basis of how you are able to magnify votes, going by how you sell your manifesto to the people. So for me, it's a recipe for
that Edo election.
Problem
Do
in
you
Nigeria.
believe the president can pull that off?
And I think it calls for worry. That is why everybody must be watchful, because what you are seeing, the statement that came from the president, is like a tacit order, unwritten order to security agencies on what to do. A tacit, unwritten,
Yeah.
to security agencies on what they need to do during the election. Don't forget that the security agencies in the election management have a lot to do. We are even seeing a case in court where the evidence from police as to the information they gather, the result they submitted was used to determine the election in the court. You are now having a police that have a major role to play in the election management. The military is equally there, GSS is there, and they are under the commander of the president and the commander of the armed forces, who have said that he's going to give that state to a particular political party. So for me, looking at whether Edo he will do it is a function of how the people are able to resist it, because he has said it. I think he's an adult. He knows the implication of what he has said. It's what he has set out to do. So it depends on how the people are able to resist it. The only state I saw that resisted that level of intimidation in the past is Rivers State, when they re-elected Wike as governor of Rivers State under the then Muhammadu Buhari. Don't forget that at the heat of it, a returning officer of a particular local government was shot and killed. And this is a lecturer who just bagged his doctorate degree then, who have not even used that certificate to earn living. To tell you how dangerous it is to practice democracy in this part of the world. So for me, whether the president's word will come to pass is a function of the tenacity of the people in those states to stand against it.
So lastly, what should Nigerians do so that this kind of bill by the House of Rep will not repeat itself again?
I think at the instance of that bill rearing the ugly head at the level of the Hollow Chamber, the plenary, Nigerians spontaneously needed to hit the streets in displeasure, hit the streets in protest, express their displeasure, total displeasure to that obnoxious bill. For me, it's a satanic, it's for the pit of hell, it's meant to gag the people, it's meant to suppress people, and it has no place in the place in the democracy.
So that it will not repeat itself, what can we do so that it will not repeat itself again?
If they hit the streets and perhaps occupy the streets and refuse to vacate until they get assurance from government that we are not going to do this again.
Okay, thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you for having me.